Welcome to Walks with Moss. This morning we are going to a lake I just discovered that has lots of bass in it. I know I've posted quite a few videos recently where I looked for a lake and all I found was a swamp. Well, this is another lake I only found just recently, but I didn't have my camera with me when I discovered it. And this one is a doozy, a nice lake filled with bass. I've got really high hopes for this trip. So let's go catch some bass. Come join us. Come on, Bella, let's go catch some bass. Here we are at the new lake, and this lake is loaded with bass. There's a house on it. It makes me feel kind of anxious about taking bass out of it in front of the homeowner, but look how little this lake is. There's definitely too many bass in this lake. So we're going to get our limit, and we can have 5 below 12 inches, 1 above 17 inches, but I'm not going to keep any that are more than 12 inches because I don't want to eat those. Here comes the first cast. Let's see if it's like it was last time. Well, last time I already had a fish on at this point. So maybe it won't be as good as last time. We'll see. Last time there we go. There we go. Oh gosh, my drag is really loose. Oh, it got away. Anyway, that was a pretty good bite. Last time I got 6 bass in the first 10 casts. Then after that it slowed down. I can see my stick bait now. Nothing's following it. That's a good start, though. 1 cast, 1 bite. I should have paid attention to my drag. If my drag had been tight and I hadn't lowered my rod tip to fix my drag, I might have caught that fish on the first cast. The lake is deeper down at that end, but that end is private property, so we've got to kind of stay down here. It's definitely getting shallow. I'm going to walk over to where the water is just a little bit deeper. I'm just not exactly sure where the property line is here, but I think I'm still a ways from the private property. This lake is half timberland, half private. Going to work our way over to the other side of the lake where it's maybe just a little bit deeper. Definitely not having as good a luck as I had last time, but you know what? Maybe a lot of the bass in this lake have already seen my Senko. I know a lot of them have. I caught a lot and threw them back last time on the Senko. Might want to switch to something different. Well, As soon as I turned off the camera, I got a bite, and as soon as I turned on the camera, it got away. It's okay, it was pretty little. I'm using a spinning reel. I know a lot of people use bait casters for bass, but I did read that when you're using a Senko, it's not quite heavy enough. You need something slightly heavier. You're better off using a spinning reel with your Senko. And because our bass here in Western Washington are so small, I just don't think I need a bait caster. It's really good to sneak up on the shoreline and sneak up on the bass, but that doesn't happen with Bella. She probably scared half the fish in the lake before I even got here. But that doesn't usually seem to matter too much. Boy, she's having a good time. Had a bite. Or maybe just snagged on something. Oh, there's another bite, but these are little. I can actually see the bass that's biting. It's little. There's a whole little school of bass checking it out, but they're all too little. I know there's big ones in here, though. This looks like a lucky Senko. It's been chewed to death. I think I need to re-rig it, though. Actually, I put my hook too far in. It's tricky when the Senko was in so many pieces, though. Let's try. I don't know. I know. Hold the end off it. There we go. There. That should work better. You can tell this Senko has seen some use. I'm actually about due to buy some new Senkos. I'd be keeping this one no matter what, since somehow it got hooked in the eyeball. Poor thing. Okay, we got one. Let's see if we can get some more. I got my club with me here to kill them quick. All right, our luck has improved. Here we go. Here comes another one. Again, it's not a monster. Let's see what it looks like when we get it up here. Oh yeah, that's a keeper. That's a keeper. There we go. Number 2. They've just suddenly started biting. There we go. There we go. Plenty big enough for us. I think I can see the bass in there, so I'm just going to cast directly to them. I'll cast a little bit over their head, but I'll reel in to them. Yeah, those spots I was looking at are moving. Those are bass. Now I'm just about even. I see the bass looking at it. Take it. Take it, take it. Yeah, 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 take it. It's looking at it. It's got its nose pointed down at it. It's just a couple inches away. Maybe give it a little twitch. No. That twitch actually scared it away. Well, there's a little one that just took it. And now the big one I was watching is following the little one. There we go. What do we got here? Oh, you might be big enough to keep. Okay, this is big enough to keep, so that one that was following this one must be really big. Look at that. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. I tell you, this lake is loaded with little bass. Just loaded. Look at that. That's the size I like to eat. Let's see if we can get that bigger one now that was following this one. It's probably sad because it didn't get to eat. Let's see if we can get it. Ooh, I see a decent looking one right next to shore. Gonna just try to skip it over its head. There, it sees it. Oh, but a different one took it. No, I don't. Oh, you look so little. The one that's biting it is so tiny. Good, it didn't hook. Come on, big guy. Or gal. You take it. Probably gal, because female bass are actually bigger. Got some weeds. I can see them in there. There are some decent sized ones in here. But you can't take them if they're more than 12 inches. So, there's that. Okay, at least we found out where they're at in here. There's the big guy or gal right there. Come on. I'm gonna put it right past your nose. There we go. Right past the nose of the big one. Come on, take it, take it, take it. Maybe that big one has already had a Senko. There's a smaller one watching. You gonna take it? Okay, I dropped it right on top of the big one, and guess what? Okay, I'm gonna have to measure this one. It might be too big to keep. Let's see. 15 inches, yeah. This one's got to go back. Okay. Oh. Try to do this without too much harm. You get to go back. You're too big to keep due to the slot limits. There we go though. 15-inch bass. That's big for Western Washington, trust me. Okay, go back and make more baby bass. There we go. Yay. Okay, so maybe I don't want to be casting directly over the head of the big ones because they're too big to keep. That was a nice one. The biggest bass I've ever caught was only 17 inches. I tricked it. I cast right over its head. It's gone now. Probably scared them all away now. Let's cast over here, see what happens. So they're actually bigger than they look underwater. I always thought it was the other way around. When they're underwater, they look bigger than they are, but no, these ones look bigger when you get them out of the water. Yeah, it scared them all away. I don't see any in there now. Time to wander down to the other end where I see them jumping. Bella's gone. There's something big back there in the woods. Probably a deer. I saw one jumping over there. Let's see what happens. Bella is gone. Fish on. Fish on. This feels like it might be the right size to keep too. Ooh, that's a nice one. All right. I'll measure it just to be sure, but I think this one's going to be fine. Let's measure you. I know the answer already though, I think. Oops, metric. Okay, where are we at? 11.5 inches. If you had grown one more inch, you'd get to go back in the lake. There we go, 11.5 inches. One more fish and we are done, which is good because it's going to be 90 degrees today. I don't want to be out here for very long today. Let's do it. Let's measure this one real quick. This one's pushing it. Where are we at? I think from that to that, it's right at, it's just like a fraction over 12. I think if you push its fins together and you start at the lower lip, yeah, it's just a fraction over 12 inches, just a fraction, so it gets to go back. Lucky fish. Okay, this fish is very, very lucky. Maybe. You gonna go? Come on, there you go. Bye-bye, bass. Man, that one was so close to being a keeper. So close. But because it wasn't a keeper, that means I get to stay and fish some more, so that's kind of good too. My little stick bait is getting shorter and shorter. I just had to take some more off it. Let's go. Let's go. It's funny how nothing was biting when I first got here, and then all of a sudden, they all just started biting. There are so many bass in here. I think it really is good to take some of them out of here. This lake is just so little. All right, fish on. Fish on. I think we're going to be done with this one. I think this is going to be it. Woohoo! Ooh, I don't know. That's decent sized. We're going to have to measure this one too. Let's see. What do we got? Hold still. Hey, hold still. I can't measure you when you're doing that. Hold still. Let's see. Let's play it safe and put this one back too. Probably allowed to keep them at 12, but I'm gonna let it go anyway. Let's go for one that's under 12. Let's go for one that's under 12. Leave those bigger ones. All right. Fish on, fish on. Here we go. Here we go. Yep, I think this is going to be number 5. Here we go. Here we go. Woohoo! There we go. Surely that one's not 12 inches. Surely that one's not 12 inches. Let's measure it. I'm sure this one is fine though. There we go, 10 inches. There we go, that's our final bass. I'll put it out of his, woo, spiky, spiky, spiky. Woo, oh, it got off the hook. Whoa, it might make it back to the shore. Man, they are so good at getting back to shore once they get off hook. Okay, gotcha. All right, there we go. I'm gonna put it out of its misery real quick, and then we're going to be done for the day. There we go. 5 nice little bass in a lake that's got way too many bass in it. Woohoo! Very cool. It was this little beaten up, shortened Senko. I mean, there's not even much of the Senko left, but this is what they ate. Here's, for comparison, here's a Senko that hasn't been beat up and shortened. It was this short one that caught them all. Well, that sure was fun. This is a great little lake. I'm so glad I've discovered it. It really is tiny, though. There are so many bass in this little tiny lake. I think we should come back soon and take some more bass out of here. What do you think, Bella? Should we come back soon? Like all these little lakes, there's plenty of spearmint here. I uprooted a few plants that I will take home with me. I'm going to see how much of this wild spearmint I can get growing in my yard this year. It would be really fun now to just sit here at the edge of the lake and relax for a few minutes. I think that's what I'll do, but I don't dare stay here for very long because I got to get my fish on ice. Didn't bring any ice with me today. Every once in a while, by brush crashing and looking on the satellites, you find yourself a good lake. I'd say maybe 1 in 5 of the lakes I go seeking out actually turn out to be good ones. And those 1 in 5 sure make it worthwhile. What a great lake this is. And it's really close to home. I'm just gonna sit here for a few minutes now and have some coffee, and then we're gonna hike on out of here. So cheers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.